latest revelation of Hill extremely shocking. Ahab and Jezebel, other Israelite kings, Pharaoh's army, little children, those who don't evangelize, and others in hell. Today, I woke up from midnight prayer with my sister Rachel, as we prayed. The presence of the Lord was so strong in the room that I could not even lift my hands up in worship. Whenever I lifted them up, I found myself head down, bowing before the presence of the Lord. When we finished praying, we were so happy because of the presence of the Lord, which had come in a powerful way. When I went back to bed, I did not even close my eyes to sleep when my spiritual eyes opened. I was wide awake and began to see with my spiritual eyes. I saw a large rock, like the ones which were used for sealing tombstones in biblical times. It was round in shape and extremely large and thick. It was laid down like a lid to hell. I saw the rock move as if by a great pull, like a lid being pulled to one side, and the sound of the pull produced an extremely great noise. Hell was opened, and I began seeing what I was not seeing due to the rock that had been preventing me. When I looked inside, I immediately saw countless people like the sand of the seashore, lifting up their hands from side to side, moaning helplessly. These people did not stop moaning in pain for 1 second, but went on, and as if it was an unending song. I did not hear them stop crying for 1 minute. It was as if singing a song that they couldn't sing it. The pain was horrible. They went woo 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 non-stop. Their hands were in the air, and they were moving them up and down in circular motions while continuously moaning. These people had burnt so much that their skin was gray in color, like ash. They were countless, literally countless. I saw men, women, teenagers, old people, the lame, the blind, and even children. People were even in wheelchairs, but they were in hell. They had sinned on earth. Some had an amputated hand, or an amputated leg, or just one good eye, and some even had crutches. Being lame or amputated doesn't mean you will not go to hell when you sin. I saw all varieties of ages, those in their 20s, those in their 30s, those in their 50s, those in their 90s, etc. Totally countless. I could even see the variations between the people. I could see that this person is short, that person is tall. This person is fat, that person is slim. Some even had beards that looked unkempt, while some were in expensive-looking business suits, etc. In short, I could see that they were people like us, from all walks of life and races. The multitude was endless in all directions, to the right, left, back, and front. It was like a great carpet which kept unrolling without reaching its end. I did not see where the people began or where they ended. I was just in the middle. They were there for different reasons: lying, stealing, pride, fornication, worldliness, etc. The list is endless. Children in hell. I saw a boy who looked 10, who was therefore insulting. He had learned these insults from what he was watching on television. I also noticed that he was wearing a shirt that had a demonic drawing of a Spider-Man cartoon. But the Lord said this cartoon had been drawn in the image of a real demon in hell. The Lord had previously told Rachel and I that He doesn't want His children wearing clothes with demonic drawings. There is a spirit in that drawing which controls their behavior when they wear that. The Lord had also told us that people should get rid of clothes with drawings such as skeletons and skulls and other demonic drawings because they have evil spirits. You can only pray for clothes without demonic drawings, and they get purified from any spells that were cast on them while making them. The Lord said that for clothes with demonic drawings, these must be burnt. The Lord has several times warned that secular TV is leading people to hell. Secular TV is any non-Christian program, for example. All worldly movies, including family movies, soap operas, wrestling. Worldly cartoons, for example, like those found on Disney, JNR, Jim Jam, Nickelodeon, etc., and talk shows that don't glorify God, for example, the Tyra Banks show, and other worldly things, even those which are called Christian movies, or any other entertainment, which, if Jesus came to your house, you wouldn't watch in his presence. Secular music is also any non-Christian song, and even songs that are called Christian by people and yet have worldly beats such as rumba, reggae, rap, etc. are unholy to the Lord. 1 John 2:15-17. James 4:2-4. I saw a young girl of about 8 who was in hell for using artificial hair and makeup. I also noticed that she was wearing a string top, and the Lord said, "This is indecent." Dressing your female children in indecent clothes, such as bare backs, trousers, string tops, and other indecent clothes, will land them in hell. The Lord said, this is what the parents are teaching their children. Even girls as young as this are putting on makeup. The young children also see this makeup from cartoons like Barbie, and they want to dress like those cartoons. They want to dress in the short skirts and trousers they see on those cartoons. Tell their parents to teach them the way of the Lord and to dress decently, because they are coming to this place. If a child knows right from wrong and does not do right, they are coming to this place. Many times in cartoons, they portray as though dressing that way is being ladylike, but it's all a trap in this place. I also saw a demon that had braids made out of cotton wool. It was running about in hell and piercing people who used to do this on earth. So they wanted to avoid using artificial hair, and so made braids using cotton wool. 1 Timothy 2:9-10. The Lord also told me, this girl was also here for sexual acts. He told me, she may seem young, but she imitated what she saw on TV. These are the games children play. Children as young as this are having boyfriends and girlfriends. This is what they see on TV, and they imitate. Tell parents to bring up children in the way of the Lord. 1 Corinthians 6:2-9-11. Revelations 21:2-8. The Lord moved his hand as if uncovering a curtain, and I began to see another section of hell that I was not seeing. It was full of children. Some could have been as young as 5 and 4. The Lord said that if a child reaches an age where they know right from wrong, they have to choose to do the right, or else they are also coming to this place. It's not about how old they are, but about the sin they are carrying. The Bible says to bring up children in the way of the Lord. Proverbs 22:6. For example, a child who does not know right from wrong can steal something from you, but they will make no attempt to hide. However, there is an age where a child will steal something from you, and they will hide that thing from you. It means that they have now known right from wrong. At this stage, they are accountable to God for what they do. People don't see it like that, and they think that just because someone 4 or 5, they automatically go to heaven. Children mature differently, and if a 4-year-old knows that stealing is bad, and yet they steal, that child is answerable before God. Human standards are not God's standards. It's about the sin on them and not the age. That's why the Bible emphases on bringing up children in the way of the Lord. The screams were deafening, extremely horrific, screaming that sounded like it can only be produced by extremely wounded animals battling for their escape from a trap. Now imagine that 10 times, and another 10 times, and another 10 times more intense and desperate. I did not know that human vocals are capable of producing such a sound, especially not that of children. They sounded like horses. There is no human way possible of explaining this. Their shouts of desperation echoed to every inch of hell. They were all stretching out their burnt and bony hands towards the Lord. No one was too proud to ask for help, but they all, with one accord, as if a signal had been made for them to do so, instantly, uniformly stretched out their hands to him. Looking at their faces made my heart leap in great and intense fear. They were looking horrible for those who still had eyes. Their eyes were popped out as if in shock of the pain they were experiencing and they made piercing screams. They were human and burnt and suffering beyond what can be explained, and they looked terrifying, as if they were not human but some type of deformed, ugly creature. I saw giant TV screens on the walls, and these had the cartoons they used to watch on Earth playing. However, these screens had huge bars around them, and the cartoons that were playing were no longer entertaining the children, but mocking them for being in hell. Pieces of skin that had been burnt black were hanging from the bars protecting the TVs like rags, and the walls and TV screens looked splattered with human fat. Many of these worldly cartoons are drawn in the images of demons. On Earth, these cartoons entertained them, but now, in hell, these cartoons had changed their character. Instead of saying funny things to make them laugh, like they did on Earth, they were mocking them. There was a cartoon playing, and one cartoon asked the other, "So, how it feel to be in hell?" And the other cartoon looked thoughtful for a moment and answered, "What can I say? Feels like this and like that. Can't really describe it." And they laughed and danced with their backs facing the burning children while singing in a mocking way, "We brought you here." They looked like bunnies. I also saw a cartoon which had been drawn in the form of a lady, but it was wearing trousers, lipstick, and earrings with long pink nails. It looked dressed up, and the two bunnies asked, "You're so dressed up? Are you going?" And the other cartoon answered, "I'm going to hell. I'll be right back." And they would laugh. They were mocking the children for being there. Secular TV teaches children many wrong things and makes sin appear normal. If you are not raising your children up in the way of the Lord, you are killing them. You are taking them to hell. Jesus said, "Why are the parents also buying their children smartphones when they are young and not monitoring what they are doing on computers? Don't they know they are exposing them to obscene material like pornography and the world of evil out there? Do they think buying them those phones is an act of love? Tell them to bring up children in my way so that they will never depart from it." He also said, many parents who claim they believe in holiness allow their children to go to birthday parties of their friends and classmates. Don't they know that at such parties they are going to make them dance to secular music? Said, there will no excuse taken for making your female children wear trousers, not even in the name of sports gear. Is that sports gear or hell gear? Tell them to repent. Even when you buy your children school uniforms or sports skirts, the Lord said that they should be decent. He said that He will not accept any excuse for indecent dressing, not even in the name of a school uniform. There are many traps to this place, and the only way to escape is to cling to Jesus here on earth. The Lord also showed me video games, laptop games, and phone games such as Temple Run, Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat, Need for Speed, Zuma, Prince of Persia, and other such games, and told me that they are totally demonic, a trap to hell, and bait for your soul. These have demonic spirits, dirty language. Some are drawn in the image of real demons, and they are addictive. You can speed hours playing these games, but you can't spend 30 minutes in prayer. They hindered your relationship with God. Jesus said, "Tell them to honor me." All these multitudes you see here were humans, just like you, but they did not honor me. I am holy. I will tolerate no sin. I say again that I will tolerate no sin. I will make no exception. Not even for you who am showing this. If you do not live holy, you are coming to join them in this place. Even the parent who does not raise up their child in my way, I will require an account from them. Mothers, fathers, grandparents, uncles, aunties, the rich, the poor, and children who know right from wrong, they are all coming to this place. The only one I will allow into my kingdom is he who obeys my word. Not just a churchgoer, but someone who listens to my voice of correction and changes their ways. Every word the Lord said carried a sense of urgency. He was really serious and was shedding giant drops of tears the whole time for humanity. That is lost many times. We make jokes about how it's okay if we go to hell, but I saw the seriousness of this place. All such jokes are far forgotten, and everyone wants out of this place. Even those who blasphemed the name of the Lord when here on earth and practiced witchcraft, they want to get out so that they can repent. Ahab and Jezebel. I also saw people who died thousands of years ago and lived in the time of Joseph, and they still wanted to get out. I also saw some who were dressed like ancient Egyptians running about in the fire. The Lord told me, these are the ones who were swallowed up in the Red Sea in trying to pursue my people Israel. Exodus 14:26. They also wanted to get out. I also saw some people who looked like kings from ancient times, even kings from the Bible, and they were begging the Lord to get them out. They had not obeyed God here on earth, and they will be eternally punished. I also saw Jezebel and Ahab from the Bible, and they were tied together with their backs to each other with a pole between them. In hell, they were cursing each other every second. They were each saying to each other, I am in this place because of you. It's all your fault. Your fault. You led me to this place. They hated each other, but I saw that being tied to each other when they had deep hatred for each other was part of their punishment. I saw a creature that looked like a big dog, almost like a wolf in appearance, and its mouth was almost like the tentacles of an octopus, only that they were not long-like for an octopus, and it would open and close them like an octopus. It was attacking Jezebel and scratching her with paws like a lion's and cursing them in a language that sounded very ancient and yet very demonic. It did not sound like a human language. It would curse them over and over again with a voice of pure hatred while attacking them and telling them worship, for this is now your kingdom. Another ugly demon on the other side was stabbing Ahab with a hooked spear. It had ugly feet, which looked like spiked football shoes. Its toenails were huge black hooked claws that looked like sickles used for harvest. It pulled out his intestines and showed them to him. He was terrified to see his own intestines. There was horrific screaming and pain beyond human words or what the human mind can imagine. This pole that was between them could be rotated, and saw that the two demons kept exchanging who to torture by rotating the pole. The Lord told me, they are here for idolatry, and this demon you are seeing like a dog was one of their gods on earth, but it's a demon. They were deceived, and now they must pay for their sin. Daughter, I love the one who sins, but I hate the sin they are embracing. They are embracing it because they love it so much, more than they love me. The Lord also told me that King Saul, from the Bible, was also here in this place, but he did not show him to me. For all these people in hell, the things of the world had passed away, and because they were practicing them, they had passed away with the world. I saw that for those who knew and had even heard about hell, I saw that they all felt as if no one ever really described hell to them. They were thinking that if it was possible for a human to describe this place, it would have never turned a foot to the direction of the road to hell. They were thinking, if only I had known it was like this, I would have spent every single second working for him. If only I could get even just the tip of my little finger out of this place out there to feel what it feels like for an inch of my body to have nitrogen monoxide pain for 1 second. Okay? There was no moment I was at peace when I was in that place. Whichever place I looked to be it, on my left or on my right, horrified me. My eyes were continuously popped out and my fingers inside my mouth, and I kept exclaiming, A, 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 H. I was in shock. My heart was continuously thumping loudly in great fear. I could hear it with my own ears. Even the way I was screaming in horror shocked me. Kinda imitate here on earth how I was screaming there when seeing all this. It is like each of us had a hidden inner voice which comes from the center of the heart and can only be expressed in that place. You cannot express it here on earth. I got horrified and I thought, what if I remain in this place? But whichever way I looked, there was nitrogen monoxide. It's just people all around me. They stunk. The whole place was also burning with dangerous chemical called sulfur, which made breathing 100% impossible. The people would hold their breath, and when they could no longer hold it, they would try to get a tiny gasp of air. But when they did it, their internal organs would melt like a candle. It was as if acid had been poured on them. To these people, I saw that putting them in what we call lava from a volcano here on Earth would be like soaking them in a tap of cool water, and that putting them in the smelters we have here on Earth, which even melt stones to liquid, would be like pouring tap water on them. Nothing on Earth is next to what they were feeling. Even the heat of the lava in hell is not like the lava here on Earth. Its intensity cannot be described.